Hey VC, Tony here. Tony's LPs are us. We're back in Studio B. This is a video that I just had the inclination to do really fast because the other day a good friend of mine came over, an old friend from work, a music, muse for me, Eddie. And I know a few Eddies, and this Eddie knows who you are because he was just here. So I said, Eddie, come over, listen to some music, have a few beers. He was dropping off a guitar for my son. He was really nice, gave my guitar a beautiful Fender Strat. My son's a guitar player. Ed said, if he could use this guitar, whatever. So I want to thank Ed publicly on this station, on my YouTube channel for this. So anyway, I said, well, come over, have a few beers, and we'll hang out, listen to some music. Ed doesn't do a lot of critical listening. He usually listens to his iPod in the car at home, but I listen to vinyl. He doesn't really listen to vinyl. So he came over and we hung out for a few, about an hour, had a beer. I said, let's go play some music. I had my tubes all warmed up. They warmed up for about an hour and a half, so they were ready to go. Didn't listen to anything until he was ready. I said, sit in a sweet spot. I go, what do you want to hear? I know he loves guitar, so I know he loves Hendrix. I know he loves, things like that. I know he loves guitar, basically. He's a guitar player. Like I said, he was able to give my son this beautiful Strat, which just mind-blowing. But anyway, we're listening. I said, okay, so I put on, because I just played this the other day because it's a Jimi Hendrix record. Jimi Hendrix passed away 2 days ago, 1970, like 54 years ago. So I said I had this stuff pulled out. So I played a few I played side one from this. Just incredible. The UHQR, just amazing. And we talked about the artwork. We talked about the drumming on this record is just off the chart. It's just the bass off the Hendrix, of course, but the vocals, what Chad did for this is only a 33. What he did for this record, it's just Hendrix was in each side of my room because he would go from the left to right to left, and incredible power trio, just incredible. So we played this. Then he goes, I said, what else you want to hear? So I was steering him into stuff that I knew I had some really good quality records. So I knew he liked Steely Dan. So he goes, Steely Dan's all in my iPod. He showed me his selections, right? 10 or 12 Steely Dan records. And I said, well, okay. So I popped this on. And I put on the side with Asia and maybe Black Cow, all right? This is a 45 RPM. We listened to this. His jaw opened up. It was spellbound. So we put this on, and the purpose of this video is, I don't think I explained it. We played records for about 3 hours. I played cuts. I didn't play the entire records, but we played 3 hours. And then at the end, before he had to leave, I said, one more record. I said, do you like this group? He goes, yeah. And he told me some of the tracks because we never discussed this group ourselves. And I played this reissue RHINO High Fidelity, and you have to wait for the end of the video because it blew all these records away. We were just saying, oh my God, what did I just put on? Now, granted, the tubes were hot. We had 4 or 5 beers between us, but still, the quality of this last track, this last album, you have to just stay on for another 5 minutes because this is not a long video. But this video comes from just an enjoyment of what I did with Ed and what I was able to, there was no one else in the house. We were cranking it. I kept the volume the same. I adjusted the volume for that particular pressing. As you know, some could be increased. Some has to be a moderate dB. But the last record, just, I said, and he looked at me and I said, that record just blows everything else away. So We'll get to that. Then I put on Jeff Beck because we're talking guitar. So he never heard this record. And if you haven't heard this record, pick it up. Jeff Beck, Rock and Roll Party, honoring Les Paul with Imelda May's ex-husband, Daryl Hyam, Brian Setzer, Gary U.S. Bonds, Trumbo Shorty. This is just an amazing double record. And Beck plays just about every style from the 40s on up until like the 70s or whatever. But this is amazing. I saw Imelda May with my friend Jay, met her backstage, and I said to her, this was during this era. She had that 50s type of haircut there. She's from Ireland, so she has a beautiful Irish brogue that is just, it melts men. And we were talking to her backstage because it was a small club in Philly. I don't know if it was the Trocadero or whatever, but and also on the bill was the female Elvis Jackson. I forget her name now. But anyway, Imelda May was the headliner. We talked to her, and I said, Imelda, great show. I said, I would pay just to hear you talk. And she goes, she goes, tell that to my husband. So that's my little Imelda May story. But Jeff Beck, Rock and Roll Party, double record, also a beautiful Blu-ray companion to this. And in the audience that night was Paige, Plant, bunch of other dignitaries. They were just mesmerized. So we played this. It sounded awesome. We played one side with Peter Gunn on it and Apache, the instrumental. So then we started talking about, he goes, do you have truth? I says, do I have truth? I have truth. So I pulled out the double twofer of Truth and Beckola. Now I have the first Truth and I have Beckola, but I pulled this one out. This is an orange epic. And we played Shape of Things, Let Me Love You, Morning Dew, You Shook Me, Old Man River from Truth. Just side one. And this record rivaled the One Steps. So I got really lucky with this pressing. I've had this pressing since college or high school, 74-ish, 5. But that's it right there. And here's the gatefold again. I'll show you the record in case you want to see the orange Decca. The orange Epic. Now, whatever tapes they used, they had to be the original master tapes, but just sounds fantastic. These are the twofers that they put out in from Columbia Records. And then next I said, you want to hear some Dylan? So he goes, yeah, I'll hear some Dylan. I try to keep it heavy, little less heavy with the Imelda May, a little less heavy. So I pulled this one out. Blood on the Tracks, the One Step. One of my favorite Dylan albums, this and Desires, when I really got into Dylan. Then I went backwards and I went frontwards. And my son Sean's a big Dylan fan, but probably just from listening to it subconsciously from me listening to Dylan. But he's a much bigger Dylan fan than I am, and we were lucky to see Dylan. I think we saw Dylan 4 times together. So Blood on the Tracks, One Step, and I played one side, 4 songs of this, and just blew him away. See, the first thing he said was the bass, and I agree. The bass line on this is nice. The picking on the acoustic guitar, the harmonica is just, if you don't have this is the one to get. This is number 5904 out of 9,000. One of my treasured One Steps. And then I said, I'm going to change it around. Like, I wasn't telling him what I was picking. I would go to whatever was close. Then I pulled this out. The Doors. 45 RPM, which we talked about because LA Woman was just released by Acoustic Sounds, Analog Productions out of 33. This one is the one to get if you want to get up and down. Now, I played side 2. It's 11:59 minutes. Cars Hiss By My Window and LA Woman. LA Woman's almost 8 minutes. So, But the first thing he said too again was the bass, because I said, well, that's Jerry Sheaf, and then the guitar, and then the vocals, and Morrison is up in the front, he's in your face, and we went to get another beer, and just and I wasn't trying to compete with each record. The next record is a regular pressing from the 70s, and it sounded good. Maybe it was our ears at the time, but it sounded almost as good as this, and that's this record. Almond Brothers, Fillmore, a Capricorn pressing. So what I played was Statesboro Blues and Whipping Post. Now, Whipping Post on here is over 22 minutes long, and granted, it doesn't have the sonic fidelity that the Doors had, or that the One Step had, or even that Truth had. But, and this isn't a first pressing, but just musicianship alone, it's a 20 on a 1 to 10. So that's this record. Here's the inner. If you don't have this record, I think there's a MoFi of this, which I don't have. I would love to get it someday. But Fillmore, the Almond Brothers, the entire group. Then I went back and I dug deep. I went back and I got this because I wanted to impress Ed with just a sonic LP, because, like I said, he doesn't play vinyl. And we did this over the course of 3 hours. I was playing records and half tracks, but nothing to compete with each other. It's the way I pick music is, as I'm listening to one record, I think of another record. So I can never predetermine a session, I don't think, that would have the same impact as if I did it as I'm listening, whatever that means. So I picked this one, Muddy Waters Chess, folk singer, 45 RPM, Analog Productions. This is the second press. The first press was sold out. I ordered it, and it's not limited. It came probably about 8 months after I ordered it. Here's the insert. You've got Buddy Guy, Willie Dixon, and Muddy Waters. Just genius. It's just and I was telling Ed, who doesn't go to audio shows, I said every audio show 4 or 5 years ago was playing this record as a demo. They were also playing the one of the Asia pressings before the UHQR. They were playing Asia, just a demo record. But this is that record. It's a double 45 with some neat artwork there. But I met Buddy Guy. I never saw Muddy Waters. I never saw Willie Dixon. And my one regret is never seeing Muddy Waters or Elvis. A lot of people I haven't seen, but that's okay. But I really wish I would have seen Muddy Waters. So that's it. This blew us away. It sounded so real. The realism is there. And then he had to leave. He was going. I said we must have spent 3 hours. And I played the Good Morning Little Schoolgirl side on here. So that side's maybe 11 minutes. And Captain's on that, which just blows you away. It's just acoustic folk singer. I told Ed the history of folk singer, how the Chess Brothers wanted to capitalize on the folk scene with Dylan and Joan Baez and probably Joni Mitchell. No, but this was way before Joni Mitchell. But Baez and Dylan and those people. So they put out this. But then I said, okay, one more record. And I said to him, ready for the reveal? I said, do you like Sabbath? He goes, yeah. He goes, I like certain songs on Sabbath, because we never really discussed that. Sabbath isn't one of my go-to bands either. So he goes, you like Sabbath? I said, yeah. He goes, I like Paranoid, Iron Man. So I go, okay, I have that. But I go, but let me put this on. And I put this on. Self-titled, RHINO, first pressing. This is the numbered edition. And I put on side 1 Black Sabbath. Here's the tape box that comes with it, the original and the notes. So I put this on, and we basically just looked at each other, because this record, this high fidelity Black Sabbath, topped all those other records. Now I'm going to use the term blew them away, but it kind of blew them away, because the first track on this, with the treble, the bass, the ambient sound of the storm, and then the vocals that come in, it's perfectly balanced. It's just incredible. So this is my story. I'm going to stick to it. You know, Ed and I had a whole session this afternoon, a few beers, a few shots of Jack. But here's the Obi. There's the Obi. This is numbered. Here's the inside. And this is numbered 3621. Now, mind you, to all you RHINO people complaining about the numbers, I ordered this. Steve Westman had the show on his channel. I ordered it after the show aired, which was probably 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I still got, out of 5,000, number 3621. So, but I'm not a numbers, you know, I would love to get a newer number, but no big deal, I'm just saying. But this record, we just played the one side with Black Sabbath on it. Just blew everybody away. So that's the reveal. Thanks for stopping. If you haven't subbed, and I've got my old shirt from the River Tour, Bruce Springsteen River Tour. Now this is going back to 80s, right? 81. Found it, didn't wear it, I guess, a lot, maybe once. But this record, pick this record up. It's available now from RHINO as a non-numbered record. They were going for 120. You could get it now for 40 or 50, and buy it. Just buy it. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Thanks for subbing. If you haven't subbed, please hit that sub button. Please like and subscribe. And I really appreciate the whole VC community. But once again, I'm going to show you the gatefold flipped. Here's the whole thing. This isn't even cracked. But I did a whole review on this. If you want to go back, I did an A-B from my original Warner. I think my Warner was a second press. It wasn't a green Warner, but I did the A-B, and of course, this came out on top. So this record kind of trumped all of those other records in just a sense of the wall of sound before that was invented. Just a wall of sound type of thing. So I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm very excited. Keep rocking, and we'll see you soon. Just stay safe, and if you please sub, please like, and I appreciate everybody who stops by. I hope everybody's doing well. Keep rocking, and we'll see you next time.